All right, Sean Astin, thank you for taking time to talk with us today on Beyond the Screens.
Beyond the screens? Well, let's just stay on the screen, shall we?
Okay, we can stay on the screen as well. Since we only got a couple of minutes here, what are some of the things that you remember most about doing Goonies? I mean, obviously, people still remember it today. It has to be one of those situations where you probably didn't even know how great it was going to be and how long it was going to last when you did it back then.
Well, we knew it was going to be big because it was Steven Spielberg.
Of course.
So you knew it had the, I mean, I guess you don't really project out in your life, 20, 30 years and sort of imagine what walking around is going to feel like and knowing that it's been a part of it. But we knew it was big. I remember every single thing. I mean, or at least a lot. I always forgot my belt in my costume.
Oh, really?
I always forgot my belt. So my guardian, who would take me to work every day, Pepe, would always say, hey, you got your belt? Don't forget your belt. So, and that's sort of a running joke with us over all these years. I go to get married and he says, don't forget your belt. Pirate ship, kissing the girl.
Yeah, that had to be memorable. That's something that every guy wants, no matter how old you are.
12 years old, yeah, it's great. I remember everything. It's just a very special experience. What surprises me most about the people who know it now is just that now, generation after generation, I'd say, I don't know how long a generation is. It 8 years, 10, 12 years, 16 years? What's a generation?
I would think it has to at least be 10 to 20 years. We can say 10 to 20 years.
Well, there's an official thing, according to somebody somewhere. Oh, yeah, they know. The they, capital they know. It's at least two, probably more like 3 full generations of people who now have discovered it and love it. And the level of intensity and passion that people have for it. There's movies that I love or I like a lot, and when I think about it, I go, oh, yeah, I really like that movie. Mm-hmm. But people go out of their way to say, oh, you have no idea what that movie meant to me. And the level of passion is, and sustained passion over a couple decades now is pretty arresting.
Well, you've had a chance now to obviously be in a big film as an adult, and that was a big film as a kid. Was there something more enjoyable about one experience than the other, the opportunity of having that camaraderie among kids to be on a film set versus an adult? Is there something different about those two experiences that you like better than the other?
Well, I had a degree of responsibility. I'm married with a kid when I did Lord of the Rings, and that definitely informs the journey and thinking about money and what your house is doing back home in America when you're over in New Zealand, and there's certain things that make it substantively different, but it did have a very similar feel. You're part of something epic. You knew it was bigger than yourself. The talent of the people around you, that sense like you were describing of camaraderie and shared experience, and they're just both wonderful experiences that I identify with that time and those different times in my life. So hard to compare them, when you're coming into your own. I mean, I was 12 and I just, girls and that kind of stuff. And then, 29, 30, I'm married, and they're both amazing.
What would you say are two things that stand out for you when it comes to working with someone like Spielberg, and what's something that stood out for working with Peter Jackson?
Well, they actually had something in common. They're both very quiet.
Kind of introverted, or just quiet leaders?
Just their decisions are really what command attention, not their presentation of self.
Yeah.
I just mean in terms of volume. A lot of directors have a big booming voice, and they're just very soft-spoken, I guess is what I mean, soft-spoken more than anything, and but very similar. Have a lightness, a quality about them where they're getting to do what they know and love, and they know that they're leaders and people are following them, but it's really all about the vision. Everything else is in support of the idea of what they're doing, the realizing the vision of what the story that they're telling.
I know you've got some projects that you're currently working on, but are there some things that are coming up around the corner that you want fans of yours to know to look for you?
Nickelodeon just launched the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reboot, Saturday morning cartoon, 11 o'clock in the mornings, and I get to play Raphael, the voice of Raphael, and that's sort of what I've just spent a whole bunch of time promoting, and that's what I spend a lot of time working on it these days. My wife and I have been trying to get Number of the Stars by Lois Lowry made for a long time, so wonderful Newbery Award-winning children's literary classic. So we've written the screenplay, and we're just on the long slog to get it made. And then I'm going down to the Dominican Republic to do a little movie, a little horror film, which would be fun. That's why I have this big long gray beard right now. And I have my radio show, Vox Populi, which you can look up voxpopuliradio.com. voice of the, and then in quotes, occasionally interested people. So it's
great.
It's once a week, 12 to 2, live. People can call in, and it's all things politics. And I'm a Democrat, but on the show I really am an even personality, and I really seek out time to have all sides sort of represented.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, to wrap things up here, I've got a lot of people on the show that, like myself, loved you in Goonies, Lord of the Rings, and Rudy as well. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the fans listening out there that have been such big, followers of those films and have kept the torch going for so long?
Thank you. You've been very, very good to me.
Well, that sums it up in a very entertaining fashion, and I appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much, Sean.